Kanagit Behi and welcome to SUAANGAN. I'm your host, Dennis Allen. First Nations people are storytellers. That's how we keep our culture alive, by telling stories to the next generation. Every year, elders pass on, and when they go, they take their stories with them. So there's a need to preserve their histories while they're still with us. Elders in Fort McPherson, home of the Tetlit Gwich'in, took matters into their own hands when they took a group of young people for a historic trip down the Wind River through their ancestral homelands and showed them where they really came from. Gwichin filmmaker Elaine Alexi went along for the ride and documented the young people's reaction and produced this program for us, Flowing Generations. Welcome to SUAANGAN, Our Strength, right here on APTN.
I hope someday these young people can go on the land and look at the land that we got up in the Yukon. It's very rich and nobody knows about it. We are here now doing that, and this is what I'm really thankful for. It's a great thing for these young people. I wish they see what they got up in the Yukon, a very rich land where their parents been. This is what they're going to see now, and they'll pass that on for sure. These kids that we take out, they don't have a chance to get out on the land that much and that good, and maybe very few kids have a chance to get out like that. It's very important because if they get the stories back for where their grandfathers and their fathers have been, and also the stories of where other peoples have been, that, you know, the traditional trail shown to them, and the country shown to them, and on the map, being shown to them on the map, and this is where your grandfather have been, and your great-grandfather, you know, and that way they'll feel that they got their footprints on their grandfather's ground. You know, people used to, I heard stories around Artigrat. You got to check old-time stories that people used to connect from Artigrat, McPherson, up around Bonaprom and that. Mayo, people go there. So you got to check Fort Norman. I heard stories about that, so.
Hearing all these old stories, when I got here from Robert, kind of opened my eyes that didn't know that people were trapping and hunting and everything back here, back in the old days, and they used to walk out here and trap.
If you guys stand closer. Okay. Okay, smile.
Many young kids don't know their language today because they never got taught by their grandparents and Gwichin teachers and other people like that. That's why they're losing their language and culture. How their grandparents used to live off the land. Most kids don't know how to do most of those things today. The reason I want to go on this trip is to have fun and meet new people.
A recent high school graduate, Charlotte Francis showed strong interest in her culture. She demonstrated leadership to the other youth and brought energy to the journey.
I would want to spend like just a few weeks just being out there on the land, being like how my grandparents were, how their grandparents were, to just not have distractions, not have to just only worry about like surviving. Well, when I left today, everyone was like happy for me. And then I just realized this is my very first trip alone. No sisters, no mom, no boyfriends or friends or anything. Just me by myself. So it's like a trip of me growing up, like maturing even more. And yeah, I will miss them. I will be gone for 2 weeks. I can't see them. Can't phone them. No email. I mean, that part kind of bugs me, but the best thing about my day today was one, being in that big giant float plane. The landing part where it like bounced and big splash and everything. That was cool. And two was the canoeing. That was fun. I figure by the time I get home, my arms are going to be really toned. So that's a good thing.
This is where we'll come past this lake, Joanne. Up this way and down here, beaver. This beaver. To Mayo, this way we'll come. Really made me feel great because it reminds me of my dad when we came through there back in 1959, or dog team. And now they got chance, so I like teaching kids like that, young people. Let them know where their grandfathers and their fathers have been before, and they're stepping on the ground as they go.
I'm coming out here, that's learning that river, that's all part of this experience, right? It's like it's a challenge, just a bump in the road kind of thing. Yeah, I feel proud that I made it this far.
We'll be right back with more of SUAANGAN and the Flowing Generations right here on APTN. Welcome back to SUAANGAN and more of the Flowing Generations right here on APTN.
Yeah! Caught fish for the first time. I'm happy.
Fort McPherson elder Joanne Snowshoe used to live within the Wind River area 37 years ago. She shared immense knowledge and rich stories of her life.
First time in my life I'm in a raft, and you know, when you told me, I think you're going to be sitting in a raft, and I was thinking, goodness, they're going to make a raft? I thought it's something like all the time, and I'm going to sit on there, I was thinking. Start from here and just go down the river. Every bend is something good to see. It's like you're trying to find something good on TV. But everything is just beautiful. You have to know how to talk to them. You got to talk to them good. And then if you tell them do this or you tell them something, they're going to do this. Do what you ask them to do. And I think being up here, I know they're happy. I know that. I'm with them too, and they're there, and I feel really happy. And I think this is very important. This, I remember people's way back. 1948 was Bach flu, and them days we have no nurses and that in Fort McPherson. So I've a kapchak. That means branches with berries on it. That's all I know they call it, you know. I know of this plant here, branches. I know people make good use of it. Remember, my mom used to tell us, in Gwich'in she tell us, it's a very beautiful country. You don't miss anything. You don't miss McPherson. Nothing, she said. Every day is something good to see, she said. The water is always clean, and there's always good food. Like that little boy get fish and that. Boy, I like that, you know. Tastes good.
This quiet is good because hearing that creek was like, oh, I'm gonna go see it. Like say if I didn't hear it, I wouldn't have even known it was there. So it's a good thing. Quiet is good.
Compare that water to here. It makes a big difference. The water there is, can't practically see the bottom there, but here you can see everything. See fish going past you. That's how clean it is. When I see the water in the peel, first thing comes to mind, I think about the Wind River. Where it comes from, mountains, all over. All adds up, going creeks and makes on the river, go past McPherson. That's what I'll think about. Listen to their stories every day for 2 weeks. Made me feel a little better about this land because got a little bit information, got a lot of information about where people used to live in these areas. How they used to live and what the men used to do separately from the women.
You got to see how far is from here to Deception to Snake, and then Trail River, Trail Creek. That's where people go over. And I'll show you where going down Mountain Creek and Fish Creek is where people go back to Caribou Mountain that way too. I'll show you all that. For instance, we start moving downhill. Men's they take off early in the morning before dark. Take off. They make tent place like that, and you leave your axe. The woman come behind and look for her axe. Her axe is for ready tent place. She sat tent. By the time getting daylight, well, that you might hear shots somewhere. It's meant something. That's where they work them days. Down here, Deception is where a lot of people stay. All winter, lots of caribou around there. Good time.
Told me all that and told me like there's like trails all over these places that nobody probably find right now. So stories make me feel good. And
Being with those elders made me feel proud to be part of McPherson, part of this place.
It's a wonderful thing that I see it again with my own eyes, and maybe last time, I don't know, but I just thought of old Ice and Andre, like he sing, you know. So I just thought of that, so I said, Vinadin lai uno na shinyai. I just said that and just drifted down, and which means Deception Mountain, look back at me. That's what I mean in Gwich'in. Bring a lot of good memories. That's it.
As we journeyed our way down the river, it was exciting for all to reach the peel. Excitement for the participants knowing that the journey is near end, and revisited memories for the elders.
my grandfather 100 years ago. Hit the Firth River.
We'll be right back with more of SUAANGAN and the Flowing Generations right here on APTN. Welcome back to SUAANGAN and more of the Flowing Generations right here on APTN.
Going through that canyon, I felt excited because it was so cool looking and everything through there. I was excited and kind of scared at the same time. I thought it would be scarier. It was first seeing those big waves and then the rest was just like that. It was fun. It's weird looking. First thing I thought of when I seen it was Lord of the Rings.
So Charlotte, what do you think about that canyon?
I think it's cool. Like Lord of the Rings or something. That's what I thought of it. I'm thinking about coming through here with that skin boat. How freaky that would have been. Or even a scow. Because it looks pretty scary. Yeah. Me personally, I still don't know who I am. But hearing those elder stories and everything, it made me feel proud that, like, hey, I came from here. This is where I'm from. Skin boats and everything, that's where I'm from. That's cool.
And then I was thinking of all our grandparents, grandfathers, grandmothers. They had good life. They never stay in Fort McPherson. They just stay out on the land. Come in with skin boat and stay for a couple of days and they go back out.
Was that fun going through there?
Yeah, it was good. Of course I was thinking of all the elders. Like that splash really good to
Well, just coming down on this trip there on the canoe there, I didn't realize what I was missing. And coming down on the canoe was my first trip on a canoe trip. Traditional lifestyle, and this country's real nice back here, and I've never seen any pure water as pure as this up on the Wind River.
What would you like to see?
I would like to see this trip to be regular, bring the young youth out to this country there to see it and teach them more about the history of Mayo and Fort McPherson, because this was their trading route back in the old days.
I learned about myself. I could go on this trip, complete it. I learned that going on rivers like this teaches me a thing about where people used to live and what we used to eat, what we used not to eat, and where we used to go in the mountains. And the old people know probably all over this place, but all I know is this river right now. Makes me feel good. I love it. Big mountains and waterfalls in them. See a bit of snow sometimes. Feel happy to go home, but feel sad that I've been around people I just met all week for the past 2 weeks and having fun with them.
My most favorite part would probably be entering these small hills, leaving those mountains and entering these hills. Because when we came into these small little hills and everything, there's so much to look at. And like those mountains, to see all that development and everything, it would just ruin this place, ruin this whole landscape, this water. It'd ruin everything. I mean, it would be good for the economy and stuff, but not good for this land. This place will be all toxic or something. It would be awful. I don't want to see nothing happen to this place.
That's where they were brought up, are all peoples. Like my mom, her mother, her grandmother. It goes way back. And you know, we've been here, we've been through this place 37 years ago. And, you know, I always remember how beautiful it looked. And that's why I wanted to come back.
I like to see our young people continually do this at all times. A lot of them find out where their parents come from and what their grandparents done. I like to see that explained to them good, and then the river like just keep flowing for the rest of the time, you know. Drink the water, eat the fish right out of it, and animals. There's caribou, there's moose, there's sheep, bear. I don't want no disturbance in the headwaters off the peel, you know. Free animals freely roaming around. And the peoples too. Just enjoy it. Keep it as it is for the rest of the time.
Well, that was our show for this week. We hope you enjoyed it. Tune in again next week for more of SUAANGAN, Our Strength, right here on APTN. Until then, I'm your host, Dennis Allen. Kuyinaini.
Okay, Joanne.
I'm going to get you
She
to
take
sit.
the jackets a movie starting too.
Good. Thank you.
For copies of this program, contact the Inuvialuit Communications Society at 867-777-2320 or fax a request to 867-777-2744. Or you can email us at ics@permafrost.com.